welcome to the show. I'm Bea Montgomery. We have a fantastic one for you today. What I would like for you to do is sit back and relax, because we're getting ready to tear the roof off of MNN and give it back to the studio production at the end of this next 58 minutes. Now, I have some exciting guests today on the show. We are here today with Miss Evern. Let me get this lady's name right. Miss Evern Gilliard-Randolph, Executive Director, founder of Grandparents Around the World. And she's also working with paper, fashion, and also our guest in the studio is also Miss Betty Simmons. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what's
Pleasure
going
to be
on?
here.
It's good to have you here. Grandparents Around the World. Talk about it.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on the show today. Grandparents Around the World was founded in 2004 by myself, Evern Gilliard-Randolph, with co-founder Miss Brenda Rose Prescott.
Okay.
And we wanted to bring a community together to acknowledge our seniors that's in our community that's rarely get any recognition. Mm-hmm. And you know, we have quite a bit of those.
Absolutely.
And really, from my experience with my grandmother, mm-hmm. I've had an opportunity to live for her many years, and what I learned most from her is I would say, the human side of her, how she dealt with her community.
Right.
And I just want to bring some of that back to our community. You know, is it possible to help each other and support each other and to just love on each other? And seniors have a great way of showing that. Right. And I think it's a forgotten environment.
Right.
That every day you see goes further and further down the road.
Right.
And we really need to focus on that and bring some of that back.
What was your experience, Betty, with your grandparents? Were you raised by them or raised around them? Because most of us were.
I didn't have that pleasure.
Neither did I.
No, I've always heard about them, but I didn't have the pleasure of meeting my grandparents.
I didn't meet mine because they passed away. My mom had me when she was 52 years old. I'm a change of life. She thought I was gas.
Wow.
I am not gas, y'all. She thought she was having gas, 52 years old. And, you know, she thought I was gas until 6 months later. The doctor said, no, this is not gas.
Wow.
No, I'm not gas.
You're not gas. Well, you know, Betty is a phenomenal she has beautiful grandkids that she have raised. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when we were raised in the South, we had grandparent days.
Yes.
Children Day.
Yes.
And when I came to New York, and it's like, okay, well, when do we celebrate these things? The New Yorkers that I was around didn't know anything about Grandparent Day, because Children's Day
was major.
Wasn't that major?
It was
major. It was major for us. So it's a lot of Big Mama. Big Mama comes from the grandparent.
Yes.
That's where that Big Mama comes from. It is. And grandparents, where I'm from in the South, they help raise their children's children.
Yes.
So they didn't have to be on drugs and didn't want their kids. It was just a thing. You're the mom and the dad, and we're the grandparent. It was a whole family thing.
Wholesome.
Wholesome. So I'm sorry that I have never met mine, but I am a grandparent myself, and I have raised quite a few of my grandchildren. Still is doing so until today.
Yes.
You know, so and it's a lovely thing. So the idea came up because you was raised
by my grandmother.
By your grandmother.
Yes. And she was the pillar of the community. At that time, the 70s, I would say the 70s, she basically was one of maybe 10 or 15 grandparents or senior that was driving, because they didn't drove until they were later in the years. But she had the car, so she had the opportunity to visit. So in our community, I knew more older people than I knew my own age, because my grandmother was the person, the go-to person if someone was sick.
Right.
If there was a special service, because she was big at her church. She was an Eastern Star. Missionary. So she did so many things that was community.
Right.
So when I got the opportunity, and I don't know, even I'm really thinking it's her spirit that's driving all of this.
Right.
Because I says, I want to create a community that I grew up in. And it was about the grandparents. And when you talk about grandparents, that community of grandparents, it wasn't just one grandparents. They all combined together.
They did.
And looked out for the children.
Take the village to raise the children.
That's
what
right.
It says.
That's
Take
right.
the village. You could, anybody in anyone's community or walk by a house. Wait a minute. Beatrice, did you walk by Miss Jenkins and didn't stop to speak?
Yes.
It's like, but she was talking to Mrs. Brown and I didn't want to enter. No, this was the thing. You wait. This is how we were raised. And I'm so happy that I was born and raised in the era. I wouldn't even want to be in another era than when I was born.
And I feel the same way.
You feel the same way too.
I grew up on 117th Street and Lenox Avenue, and that was a village raising children, because we could go from door to door, open the door, go in the apartments, and there was no locks. And I mean, if I went down the street and didn't get my olive oil that my mother gave me every morning, there'd be a neighbor waiting with the spoon.
Oh my goodness, with the collard ball? My sister used to go for seconds. She would go for seconds, and we would run under the bed. You know what I mean? My mother would line all of us up with that collard oil.
Oh, yeah.
But when I got involved with some of the people in Harlem, and I would have to work and go do shows and do work and be in the entertainment field, my children knew when Miss Crumb, Debbie Crumb's mama, when Miss Crumb leave off of this bench,
y'all, better be with her.
Everybody gonna have to go inside.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
right.
Debbie Crumb mother was that mother that was the village for us.
Yes.
Who was and Sweetwater's doing shows with Blue Magic, Ray Goodman and Brown and all these people. It's like, why we can't stay outside? Because I got to go to work. Okay.
Wow, that village.
The village.
The village.
Yes.
Debbie was one of the village too. Oh, your mother's at work? Okay, y'all. When mommy get off, go upstairs. All of y'all got to go in the building.
Wow, it was someone looking after the community.
And she was grandmother to everybody in that community. So I'll never, just talking about Debbie Crown mom right now, I got tears in my eyes because she was that pillow for all of us.
Wow.
Right.
Beautiful.
Now, what we're going to do is go to a video with, introduce this piece because it's Dr.
Okay, well, are we introducing our upcoming event?
No, the tea. We'll go to the upcoming event after.
Just the tea.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to show some footage from the tea, and that's with
Dr. Selma Bartholomew.
right.
Now, this is just to set it up a little bit. During COVID, we had to go from live to figure out what Zoom would be.
Right.
So that's when we started our Sassy Hat Tea on Zoom. And we called it at that time because we were all locked down in the house.
Right.
So we called it Stay at Home Tea.
Right.
And this is 2020, I believe.
2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
2020. And we're learning Zoom for the first time. Dr. Selma Bartholomew is our host. And we had to figure out how to do this event on Zoom. And let me tell you, it was amazing. We not only brought people in from New York, we brought people from around the globe. So it was exciting.
International today. If you are joining us, thank you for coming. This is our tea party. Thank you, Ms. Holmes. I see Mr. Thomas, Mrs. Randolph. Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining, we're just letting me into the room. And Dr. B is giving you a minute to get your gloves. If you don't have your gloves, And if you don't have your cup of tea, let me let you know right now. We're giving you a minute to grab your cup of tea, grab your salsa, grab your fan, your handkerchief, whatever you need. I've got a hat too. Now, don't think I'm not going to put my hat on. Partner with Legacy. I'm excited to have the opportunity to host. We're about ready to start our event. I'm going to begin with Ms. Holmes, who will give us a context for the Tea Party, and then we will continue our exciting program today. Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Can you just give us a context as to why this Tea Party is so special for grandparents around the world, and just welcome everyone as we get started?
Okay, I would like to welcome everyone. I thank you to the Hylas for coming and being part of our fundraising of the Tea Party. But the most important thing is, when I was thinking about the Tea Party, I'm saying, what does that mean? A tea bag is nothing unless you put some hot water to it. We have gone through a lot. But a tea bag, we are in hot water now. But the hot water gives something, projects something, give you tea, give you nourishment, give you something to drink, give something to the body. And when you go through something, that's what it gives you. So that's what the tea represents to me. And so that's one of the reasons why I know grandparents around the world have had many tea parties, but I wanted this tea party to represent what we've been going through, represent us, represent the strong people, represent the grandparents.
The adults, the seniors, the young.
Founder Evern Gilliard-Randolph says it's about bridging the gaps when it comes to generations represented in our communities.
I've been a part of this organization for the last 9 years, and it is such a wonderful group of volunteers that we come together like no other organizations I've ever experienced.
Our organization looks to cultivate a dialogue that brings everyone together through shared experiences. Among the honorees, community activist Neva Shillingsworth King, a grandmother who shared the value it was having the wisdom of grandparents to guide her while growing up.
This award means a lot to me because my grandparents raised me. So understanding it that way, it touches me.
Also, they're acknowledging the organization's impact in honoring the lives of grandparents. New York City Council member Andy King.
So today is all about celebrating those who have walked the path, paved the path, and allow us to understand what it is to love, to learn, and to live.
It's a celebration of generations here at the 13th Annual Grandparents Ball. For Roxanne, this is Arlene McCoco.
Ooh. And that was the tea. And also you had a little of, I noticed that some of the grandparents are different nationality.
Oh yes, it's grandparents around the world.
Absolutely.
We have the world right in New York City. So we can call it grandparents around the world and not even leave New York, because we have how many different nationality in New York City?
A lot.
It's a lot. So, yeah.
In fact, I hosted one of your
Of course,
events.
you would do the 2012 and 2011 and 2012.
I did
because
those.
13, if I remember, was the storm, and we canceled that year.
Sandy,
Yes.
Sandy was there. So now, the ball is coming up again.
The tea is coming
and
up
the
again.
tea is, now talk about the tea that's coming up.
Yes, so, okay, we started the tea on Zoom, just like you saw from the clip, and then last year we went back in person. We would do it at Maestro. And this year, we are actually going to do it in a mansion in the Bronx. We're going to be doing it at the Andrew Freeman Mansion, and it's going to be amazing. And when you come to this tea on the 26th, you're coming home.
Absolutely.
You're going to have the opportunity to explore all the different rooms in this mansion. And then at 3 o'clock, the bell will ring, and we will introduce you to the main ballroom where the festivity continues.
In fact, I did that mansion with you.
Yes, you did. I have the footage.
I did that
Beautiful.
mansion with you, and all of those rooms are beautiful. And I heard that they refurbish or remodel
yes.
everything. Now, what to be expected? The tea, and will there be awards giving out to some of the grandparents, or this is just a tea?
This is just all centered around tea. When you walk in the gate, actually, we will have a tea setup, and we will have an array of hot and cold tea. Okay. And our tea will come as far as Africa, and different kinds of herb. It's this young lady, a group of young ladies in Africa actually make tea. And all the money, 100% of the proceeds goes back to their community. Mm-hmm. So you'll get a little backstory about that. And then we'll have all kinds of little bites to bite on while you explore this mansion. We do have the Mount Vernon High School jazz students going to come and perform.
Nice.
And what I understand, that's where Denzel Washington graduated from. Mm-hmm. So we're excited about that, and we'll have some dancers, but we want you to have the feeling of being home.
Absolutely.
Not in a where you're sitting down and then it's everything around that, but we really want the flow to be where people are moving around, because the place is amazing.
I would like to ask Betty Simmons, I know that you're part of this organization. What is your position in the organization?
Well, I'm more or less like coordinating the grandparents.
Okay.
I make sure the grandparents get in the seats.
Okay.
And I do membership to bring them on board every year.
Good for you.
And I'm just whatever you need me to be.
You are all around, everything, because working with this energetic sister right here is a lot, and I appreciate both of y'all coming on the show. What are you looking forward to for this tea, and where do y'all want to take this?
Well, what's really amazing about this tea, during COVID, we started with the paper fashion.
Absolutely.
And
Let's talk about it.
The paper fashion had really took us on a journey, an unexpected journey.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we actually make wearable paper. And we will be on the 20th, which is Sunday, at the Harlem Week, and where we will strut the boulevard in paper fashion.
Harlem Week, that would be not this is what date? What date?
Is
20th.
The 20th.
The 20th, which is this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have some a couple of shots of your paper fashion. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, during COVID, I always
She said, I need to find something to do.
During COVID, we were all locked down
Yes.
in our homes, and that gave us an opportunity to really go through things that we have not touched. And so I had all these magazines.
Okay.
And the magazine was just so beautiful, and it meant something to me. So I said, I stopped messing around. I took all the pages out the magazines, and I just started folding them. And I made a top and a bottom, right? And my granddaughter came in, and I had it on the mannequin, and I said, would you wear this? And my granddaughter said, yes.
Okay.
And that's how the idea started. But we not only did paper fashion, people wrote stories, people painted. We have a collage of work that we've done through COVID through our senior workshop.
Gotcha.
So we're very excited about it. You will see some of their work at the tea also. That's the table setting at Meehan Street last year. And when yes, that piece right there.
Right.
It really, you have to see it on the body, because
sure.
it's just amazing. And it's just folding paper.
Yes.
Well, that's what made us famous last year at Harlem Week. This piece here, cameras was coming from everywhere.
Sure.
And it was in the Bronx Time, I was told. I didn't even know it was in the Bronx Time. I was told it was in the Bronx Time last year.
Okay.
So this year, on Sunday, August 20th,
right,
you could see some more of that. We will come out at 3 o'clock
Okay.
between 7th Avenue and 11th.
Now, have you ever dresses, Betty?
No, particularly me. No, I have not.
This is so Evern, we're on the 26th. Let's talk about the 26th again. Where you going to be at?
We will be at the Andrew Freeman Mansion. That's 1125 Grand Concourse, Bronx, New York.
Right.
And it will be our friends and family Sassy Hat Tea, and it will run from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the evening.
And all is invited.
Everyone is invited. You can go on Eventbrite to get more information. Just type in GATW.
Thank you so
Search
very
for it.
much. I am so appreciative you being here today. Thank you, Betty Simmons, for being here. Thank you, Vern Gilliard-Randolph.
Yes.
And I am Bea Montgomery, and we'll be right back.
The 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest is coming to Ovation Hall inside of Ocean Resorts Casino Saturday, September 16th, featuring Boney James. Also performing Will Downing, along with Jeanette Harris. Tickets are moving fast, available at Ticketmaster.com. This is Patty Jackson. Meet me in Atlantic City Saturday, September 16th for the 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest.
And my second amazing guest is on the show with me today, Eva Gordon. Welcome, baby.
Thank you, Ms. B, for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me here today, so it's good.
You know, we need your information because a lot has happened to a lot of us.
Yes.
A lot of us. And I see you have gotten the medical marijuana cards from the doctors. They like go to 14th Street to the dispensary.
Right, dispensaries, right.
But the medicine they give you in this little pipe to smoke, I said, I can't, no thank you. I spent $400+ and they don't tell you that, hey, you got to use this within the next 3 months. I'm not smoking this because I didn't know I was supposed to be smoking something. I thought I was getting some creams, which I did got some creams and things to rub on.
Yeah.
My daughter sent me some CBC from Atlanta,
CBD.
Georgia.
There you go. There you go.
And I rubbed that on my hands with the pain. Almost immediately, I felt the difference.
You do. When my sciatica, I said, well, I would just try like a little
Not
fingertip,
that much.
a little fingertip amount.
And
Just put it, and you say, wow, and you feel the cool and the warm sensation of it actually going into the deep part of the tissue muscles of the pain.
Right.
So this is our pain cream here we use for sciatica. You know, if you have an injury, this is good. But if you have arthritis, this is the extreme you use. This is really might be for your own because you have more serious issues.
I do.
Yeah.
I have arthritis. I have
And we would use this 3 times a day because you have that. 3 times a day for that one.
Okay.
Because you have long term and definitely need help with the pain.
Absolutely.
With lupus, you know. And then we have tinctures. This is the first way to take CBD, a tincture.
Okay.
So this one you spray in your mouth. It's actually nano. So nano is even faster absorption into the bloodstream than one that's actually like oil base. This is like more water based.
Okay.
But you spray it on your tongue. You hold it about 10 seconds and you just swallow it.
Okay.
The idea is to hold it for a while in the mouth and then swallow it for the best way to get it.
Absolutely.
You know, and then.
So what is this right here?
These are pet shoes for doggies.
Oh, hold on a second, girl. Hold on. I didn't see the little boo boo on that. This is the this
is for dogs.
You have them for the animals.
We have them
as well
for house pets. Yeah.
Okay.
Because some pets might have anxiety, and this CBD can help them with their anxiety or with weight or anything. They might, or even issues with their muscles or something that might have similar health issues too.
Because they have health issues just like we humans do.
Correct.
Okay.
And I must talk about the immune health.
Would you please talk about it?
So, a lot of people have allergy issues. I did, you know.
Okay.
When you go from winter to spring.
Yes.
Congestion, sneezing, and every year I would have it. I was on the Immune Boost, which has CBD, zinc, vitamin D, elderberry, a lot of great stuff in it.
All the good stuff.
And after a year, I haven't had a seasonal issue yet. I haven't had any any swollen, not, you know, just no congestion. My thing was chest congestion. Haven't had any yet. And so the Immune Plus Gut Health. So this is a different one. This has gingerol and marshmallow root, as well as zinc and vitamin D in it. But the marshmallow root and the gingerol help with digestion, and we can really boost your immune health, because a lot of the immune health is in your gut.
Absolutely.
So what you're eating, the toxins you take in, helps all that stuff out of there. And as a result, you're building up your immune system plus gut health.
Okay, great.
And indirectly, it lowered my cholesterol. In 3 months.
I love everything that is on this table.
So that's our coffee. We have coffee as well, CBD coffee. That's my biggest one is French vanilla. That's my favorite French vanilla coffee.
Okay,
so
great.
we have non-CBD and CBD. That's our non-CBD one, but that's a K-cup. But the aroma is refreshing in the morning. You wake up to that aroma. It's fantastic. It's just yeah, I love it.
It's been a joy having you on the show, sharing this information.
Yes.
And to my guests out there that watches the show, we thank you for coming on. Thank you, Eva Gordon, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
We'll be right
you.
back. Don't you dare touch that dial. My guest coming up next is CORONDI. He's an R&B singer. He's a super, super, super cool person to work around with. And also, we have the one and only Chris on the show today. So don't you touch that dial. We'll be right back.
The 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest is coming to Ovation Hall inside of Ocean Resorts Casino Saturday, September 16th, featuring Boney James. Also performing Will Downing, along with Jeanette Harris. Tickets are moving fast, available at Ticketmaster.com. This is Patty Jackson. Meet me in Atlantic City Saturday, September 16th for the 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest.
CORONDI, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for participating this year in the National Night Out Against Crime for the 79th Precinct. And I welcome you to the show. Now, who is CORONDI?
I would say I am a like old soul when it comes to music, because I sing, and my genres are more so like smooth R&B, neo soul, classic soul, and we're missing a lot of good music in this generation. We have a lot of songs that are songs that won't stand the test of time, and artists that won't stand the test of time.
I read in your bio that you follow Mariah Carey, Prince, Luther Vandross.
That's my number one idol there, Luther.
Luther
yeah.
Vandross. At the show, you performed, and you did a Lenny Williams song. That blew all of us away, because all of us elder people were saying, where does he, how, why, when did you know about Mr. Lenny Williams? Did you hear it growing up in your house?
Yes, I heard Lenny Williams. I heard NDRE. My older sister was a big influence as far as the type of music I love, because I would always be trying to be in her room and do what my older sister was doing. And she was always playing good music like Lauryn Hill and Faith Evans and Sade. So that's where I got half of my music love. The other half was when I started to explore myself around high school.
So you went to Five Town College. Talk about Five Town College.
Five Towns College it's an entertainment school for all facets of entertainment, like theater, singing, acting, production, audio engineering. It was also very competitive.
All right.
So it really helped us hone our skills, like all of us, so that whichever one of us becomes famous or gets into the business, we know how to conduct ourselves, we know our talents and our limitations, and we know how to behave well.
I do believe Count Basie, I think he did go to Five Town College. Some of the great jazz enthusiasts, they went to Five Town College. Where do you think you will, what do you think you would bring to the industry that do you see anything that is not here that you feel that should be like some of the R&B? What are you thinking that you could bring to the table?
Well, I'm thinking that I could really, really be an ambassador for what I call like real music, like with real soul, real lyrics, songs, like I said, that will stand the test of time.
Right.
I would like to be on the same level as like maybe Lettucey or Eric Benet, Kim.
Look at you,
Yeah.
look at you. You know about the real soulful folks. And you're so young. And see, a lot of people think that if you're young, you don't know about these things. That's not true.
Right.
It is absolutely not true. I grew up listening to Charlie Pride and Dolly Parton, you know, in my home. So you write your own songs. Are you on a label, or you're trying to get on a label, or you're doing your independent thing?
Well, right now I am trying to get more notoriety. I would love to be signed to a major label, but I also know that some people find success being independent more than being on a label.
Because of what's going on now with the internet, a lot of people, you can promote yourself. You can promote yourself. You got Instagram, you have Facebook, all these different social media outlets. And artists like Lizzo, they would not sign Lizzo because they thought she was too big. And she wasn't looking the part that they thought that they were looking for.
Right.
A lot of the labels weren't back in the day looking for the talent. They were looking for image and bodies and sex and it sells and all this stuff. The people that love music don't care what you look like.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. So, if you were to do a duet with anyone that is out in today's music market, who would you say, or if is or yes or no, who would you want to do a duet with if you had any desire to do a duet with any artist that is out now or back in the day?
I mean, I would love to do a collaboration with Mariah or with, not really a collaboration, but more like if Diane Warren could write me a song, because she writes great songs, especially like the song she wrote for Monica, For You I Will.
Right.
Songwriters are very helpful as well. Like I write original music,
Right.
and I also cover some songs, but
Yes.
there's a certain magic with certain songwriters. They just know how to make hits, like Babyface.
Right. Now, let me just tell you about live music. Let's talk about live music. You work with musicians. It's both way is a way to go, but I think the live music way is good. I've seen you do something live, and I said you work very well. You know exactly what you're doing.
Thank you.
And to show us that you know exactly what you're doing, when we come back from this break, you will sing a song for us.
Yes, I will.
Stick around for Corondi.
The 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest is coming to Ovation Hall inside of Ocean Resorts Casino Saturday, September 16th, featuring Boney James. Also performing Will Downing, along with Jeanette Harris. Tickets are moving fast, available at Ticketmaster.com. This is Patty Jackson. Meet me in Atlantic City Saturday, September 16th for the 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest.
Don't know why I said it. No, I don't have a clue. I could fault the passion for making me tell the truth, yeah. Every time you speak to me in that familiar voice, oh, it seems to me really choice. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the tide, maybe it's a fever, baby, maybe it's your eyes. Must be a full moon. You know just what they say whenever there's a full moon. Folks just act that way whenever there's a full moon. You know just what they say whenever there's a full moon. Folks just act that way, yeah. Oh, listen. Baby, can't you see that tugging, tugging, tugging deep inside, pulling us together? My ocean feels your tide. Could it be the weather? Could it be the tide? Maybe it's a fever, baby. Maybe it's your eyes. It must be a full moon. You know just what they say whenever there's a full moon. Folks just act that way whenever there's a full moon. You know just what they say whenever there's a full moon. Folks just act that way. Now it must be a full moon. You know just what they say whenever there's a full moon. Folks just act that way whenever there's a full moon. You know just what they say whenever there's a full moon. Folks just act that way, 'cause this must be a full moon. Yeah, yeah, this must be a full moon. Yes, this must be a full moon. This must be a full moon. Straight up, yes. This must be a full moon. Yes, it is now. Oh no, 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 oh no. Ooh, it must be a full moon.
Oh my goodness. You wrote this.
Well, actually, it's a cover of Renee Austin's song "Full Moon." She's a blues singer,
Okay.
but most people don't know about the song, so I'm adding my interpretation to
There
it.
you go. That's why I thought you did a very good job.
Thank
Very
you.
good job. It's great having you on the show. We're going to have to do some work with you. You know that?
Yes, absolutely. Can't wait.
Corondi, don't you touch that dial. The one and only E. Chris is coming up next. Look at how you got me stuttering with this. It must be a full moon?
A full moon.
Oh,
Like you're a fool.
full moon. Okay. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank
we'll
you for
do
having
this
me.
again. Don't you touch that dial. We will be back with the one and only Chris. All right? Okay. It must be a full moon.
The 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest is coming to Ovation Hall inside of Ocean Resorts Casino Saturday, September 16th, featuring Boney James. Also performing Will Downing, along with Jeanette Harris. Tickets are moving fast, available at Ticketmaster.com. This is Patty Jackson. Meet me in Atlantic City Saturday, September 16th for the 2023 Atlantic City Jazz Fest.
The one and only Chris is on the show today.
Yes, how you doing?
Welcome back.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
We did a show, you did a show with me, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer?
Yeah.
Maybe
about 5 years ago.
About 5 years ago.
Yes.
Before that old COVID came in. You did a show with me then. Mm-hmm. Fabulous time with you.
Thank
now,
you.
what have you been up to since I've seen you?
Oh, wow, I've been up to a lot. You know, from 2016 to 2017, I was on a record company, with a record company on the label.
All right.
It was me, Christopher Williams, some other artists, for about a year. Then after that, I branched out and, to do my own thing.
Okay.
And I ended up opening up for Carl Thomas, Hot Five, Force MDs, Jeff Redd, Jill Scott, and the list goes on. And, it's been like a real big, blessing for me, to have been accepted by those artists because of my work and, the path that, God has basically placed me on in order for me to be able to show people what I really can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And see, the names that you mentioned, you are in the category of them. And, you write all of your original music songs?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You sent us a video. That video is hot. Mm-hmm. Tell me something. You work with so many, and you've done so much.
Right.
We need the whole hour to talk about things that you've done, movies that you've been in.
Oh, yes.
You double for.
Yes, Wesley Snipes. Yes, I did Disappearing Acts with Wesley and Sanaa Lathan and John Amos, which was an HBO special back in 2000.
Right.
And that is really what opened doors up for me musically in the field of entertainment because, you have to have that first break. You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Absolutely.
So, by me doubling for Wesley, people became more familiar with my face first.
Right.
And they always say to me, oh, you look like Wesley Snipes, or you look like Omar Epps. And
maybe a little more like Omar.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So by them, categorizing me and putting me in that category, they became more noticeable of who I am as an artist because I would always say I'm an R&B artist. Because I go by the name of the one and only Chris, but a lot of people know me as Chris, the R&B hustler.
That's how I met you.
Yes.
Right. So when I was standing there stumbling, I said, R&B hustler. That's who this is. But Chris, why did you change it?
It was time for a change.
Right.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my lifestyle has changed. I mean, I'm engaged to be married. I want to, give a big shout out to my, fiance Tina.
Look at that.
I love her so much. She's been very supportive to me. And the more when you get older and you start to grow and expand and excel, you don't want to be categorized and looked at in the same view of things.
Absolutely.
So I hustled, but how things are now, to be honest with you, I'm still hustling, but it's more so for God because He's giving it to me.
Absolutely.
Before I was out there just taking it and just like, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna do this. But now things are being blessed, to me by God. So I'm very thankful for it. So that's why I said the one and only.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Because a lot of times people take words and say, oh, he's a hustler.
Right,
and then they would take that all the way into the negative corner when it don't mean that because we are hustling right now.
Right, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you're a triple threat. You're a writer, singer.
I'm a writer, I'm a singer, and I'm an actor.
And an actor, you're a triple threat.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you this. Mm-hmm. Have you, when you were doing those shows opening up for Jill Scott and them, have you ever, said, let me approach and see if I can do a song with her? write a song with her?
You know, it's so funny. No, I didn't. But Jill Scott was so cool, and we were right in Brooklyn. It was a big outdoor festival taking place, and she was real funny about, you know, interacting with people after she got off the stage. So after she got off the stage,
that's a real artist, yeah.
Yeah, she looked at me, and we took pictures together, and I seen the bodyguard, and she's like, yeah, he's good. And the other people came out, and she was like, whoa. But she, you know, the thought in my mind of doing songs with, you know, people like her or anyone
and
else.
You know, that's my girl right there.
Yes.
She doesn't get enough props.
Yes. She's
I don't
phenomenal.
see it. She's very phenomenal. Now, what are you doing in this music? What are you bringing? I know what you're bringing, but let the folks out there know.
Well, what I'm basically bringing to everybody now is bringing back real music. You know,
talk about it.
I hear a lot of people say, you know, R&B, and when they say R&B, they don't know the true meaning of R&B. R&B is rhythm and blues. So they got the rhythm, but they don't have the blues.
But let's just say I didn't understand the R&B is dead statement that they were throwing out there among themselves who just don't know about rhythm and blues.
Right, and they get caught up into just the mere fact of the rhythm, but the blues part of it is when you're actually telling a story, and you're telling a real story. At the same time, you're capturing the attention of the listeners because of the beat. Because people listen to the rhythm, but they also listen to the lyrics too. They want to hear a story, and they want to see, because that's what the hook is.
Since my baby left me, I just don't know what to do.
Right.
So I'm drowning in my tears of sorrow over here.
Right.
Those songs need to be rewritten.
Right. You know, we're speaking about R&B, and it's so funny because, you know, a lot of my songs I've written from my heart. You know, a lot of people out there that know me as E. Chris R&B Hustler, but now known as the one and only.
Right.
I was first known as a balladeerist, you know, because ballads were something I was able to express a lot more. And then, you know, I always tell artists, in order to be in the business, you got to know the business.
Yes, you do.
So I started getting some, you know, basically information and advice from different A&Rs that I became very cool with, like Ron Grant.
Oh, God bless
God bless
him.
Ron, you
God
know, from
bless
Sony.
Ron. Yeah.
Stanley Brown from Island, Stanley's the music director of my church, Allen A&E Cathedral.
Okay.
Yeah, my choir. So people like him and Hezekiah Walker, I used to be a part of them with Love Fellowship. You know, they started educating me on things. So, you know, they would tell me, you know, you can be a balladeerist, but you got to get some songs that are going to be perky too, because people just don't want to hear the ballads all day. They want to hear something up-tempo, you know, when they're feeling joy, when they're driving to work, when they're having a hard day, anything just to boost their spirits up.
Okay, so he was trying to send you toward the genuine type?
Not necessarily genuine type, but more so like the Jeffrey Osborne. Like, every time I move, I lose when I let them in. And every time I turn around, back in love again. You know?
Yeah.
That, they wanted that.
And it's still telling the story.
Right.
It's still telling the story. Yeah, it is. So, now, we're good on time. What we're going to do, now the video you sent, did you direct that video yourself or?
Oh, Lord.
That's a good video.
Okay, so.
A lot of energy is in that video.
That video, I had a lot of help.
Okay.
God was my first help.
Look at you.
He was my number one because, you know, I had lost my mom on Christmas Eve of last year.
My condolences to you.
And when I wrote the song, I had no intentions on using those lyrics, but that was basically our Heavenly Father preparing me for what was going to take place before she left.
Okay.
So I got to give a big shout out to my boy, you know, C-Note, you know, and Mike Ice from Under Lock and Key Entertainment. C-Note produced the song. My boy Mike Ice, and he's promoting it. And we all came together, and we were trying to figure out a vendor, what we were going to do. So years ago, I used to be a skate guard. I roller skate professionally. So I said to myself, you know, when you listen to the song, it's an uplifting song. It's very, you know, it perks you up.
Right.
And the first thing my mom, God bless her, the song was dedicated to her. she used to always tell me, put your big boy pants on and keep it pushing. And she knew I used to always roller skate. So I pulled together my whole skate key crew from back in the days from Arlington Avenue in the Bronx.
Okay.
And my boy Pop,
I remember that.
homegirl Stacy, she was a skate guard. She knew my mom's when I was younger. So, and me and Pop grew up together.
Okay.
So I told them and collaborated with United Skates of America out in Long Island. And I chose that area because I wanted different ethnicities, different cultures.
Right.
You know, and spoke with the manager. She was very, very helpful, Miss Liz. And she said, yeah, you can come on in and do the video. And my boy DJ Niles and everybody, it was just phenomenal. My fiance Tina, she was there. And, you know, Shay and my homeboy, you know, everybody just came together. It was just beautiful.
It looked like it was a lot of fun.
And that was the main objective. So I spoke to people already and letting them know what was going to take place.
Okay.
And everybody was like, sure, we're down for the program.
Okay.
And we went out there on a Wednesday night, and it was just fun. Just let your hands up in the air. You know, throw your hands up in the air, wave them side to side, you know, and just have a good time. And that was the main objective to the video, because everybody goes through different things, trials and tribulations throughout the day.
Absolutely.
And everybody don't smoke and drink.
No.
But you got to find other ways to just throw your hands up
You
and
can
just
have a good time without the influence of anything.
Right.
So what we're going to do right now, we're going to throw our hands up in the air in the studio right now and go to that video. Don't you dare touch that dial.
Yes.
Introduce this video.
For all those out there listening, this is the one and only E. Chris, and this is my new single video, which hit #1 on Maverick Distribution, giving a big up to my boy Swift, Chill, and, you know, my brother man Creep. My new video and new single, Throw Your Hands Up.
That's
the one and only E. Chris.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Come on. Throw your hands up in the air and wave them side to side. From sun up, sun down, I keep hearing these sounds telling me to take it easy. 'Cause it's gonna be alright. I'm working 9 to 5, got a lot on my mind, and I'm getting kinda tired. So it's time to relax my mind and have a good time, 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 and have a good time. When you wanna have a good time and you're feeling pressure on your mind, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. When you wanna have a good time and you're feeling pressure on your mind, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. Every once in a while, I gotta show my strong style and hold back from being wild. 'Cause I don't want no problems. I gotta take it nice and easy and move nice and smooth. I'm too blessed to be rude, 'cause my mama didn't raise no fool. I keep my head up and have a good time, and have a good time, and have a good time, and have a good time. When you wanna have a good time and you're feeling pressure on your mind, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. When you wanna have a good time and you're feeling pressure on your mind, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. When I close my eyes and pray, I hear a voice from miles away telling me to keep the faith, 'cause only one can make me sane. When I close my eyes and pray, I hear a voice from miles away telling me to keep the faith, 'cause only one can make me strong. Yeah. When you wanna have a good time and you're feeling pressure on your mind, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. When you wanna have a good time and you're feeling pressure on your mind, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. When you wanna have a good time, yeah, and you're feeling pressure on your mind, and it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. When you wanna have a good time, and you're feeling pressure on your mind, yeah, then it's time for you to unwind. Throw your hands up. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. And my mama didn't raise no fool. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I know that God knows best. I'm too blessed to be stressed, yeah. No need to be rude, cause my mama didn't raise no fool. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Okay, E-Crest, the one and only E-Crest.
Yes.
I thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'll see you the next time throwing our hands up.
And for all those out there listening, you can catch me on Facebook at eChris Elder, ECHRIS ELDER. That's my Facebook page, and you go to Instagram at eChris Elder. Check me out. I'm on TikTok, and keep me tuned. And need all the love and support that's out there. The song is hitting high on YouTube, Maverick Distribution, Spotify, Apple Music is out there. So God is definitely blessing me. Peace and love, and I appreciate the support.
I'm Bea Montgomery. Always remember, whatever your goal in life is for you, you just simply keep rising to the top.
Oh yeah.
When you wanna have a good time.